with Cher, because I feel like this is the most random piece of news that I learned today. Apparently, Cher is dating Amber Rose's ex-husband or boyfriend.
I saw that. I was like, okay, interesting.
Cher, who is 76, has a 36-year-old boyfriend. And it is not a boyfriend that I would have pictured her with. So I'm just really interested in figuring out what's going on with that situation. So, and his name is Alexander. I forget his last name. But I want to.
He looks like Cisco to me.
He does look like Cisco with the blonde hair and the tattoos. Yes. I want to start by seeing whether or not this is a real relationship. Like, are they really attracted to each other, or is this a publicity stunt? So that's my very, very first question. Spirit, let me know
if anyone knows in the comments, when did Amber, when did they break up? I didn't know that they broke up for real. But
I assumed it was just going to be one of those many on again, off again situations. But he out here. He out here with Cher of all people. That's just such a random pairing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, so weird. Hollywood is an interesting place.
Girl. For me, a random pairing, I know it's kind of, it's an old couple, but Whitney and Ray J dated at some point in time, and I did not see that happening. And Ray J never actually talks about it at all.
This is so rude. Hold on. I'm gonna pull a clarifier over one card. Clarify this Nine of Wands for me. This Nine of Wands.
Somebody said he's gonna catch worms.
Who said that? That is so rude.
I'm screaming. Oh my God.
So I don't mean to pull a Bill Clinton, but it depends on what you mean by real relationship, right?
Tough.
I see that it's all sex and money. That's what I'm seeing here. I am seeing that he literally is tired of working. Like he's literally tired of working. And it's not like he's not attracted to her. I think that he loves the fact that she's a legend. And there's a lot of admiration there because he's showing up as the King of Cups in this reading. But we also have the King of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Seven of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. So it's a lot here about him just being grateful for the access to money and for the access to status. Like, that is a real thing. I love the King of Pentacles energy overall, but the King of Pentacles does like to trick, right? And this is Cher. Like, this is Cher coming up as the King of Pentacles, right? So Cher likes to date younger. She just does. She's not afraid to spoil her partners, to pour over them. She actually likes to do it. She likes to dote on her partners financially, right? We have the Nine of Wands, which is a card of resiliency and exhaustion. So both of them crossed paths at a time where they were lonely, right? Because Nine of Wands can represent loneliness. And then we have that King of Cups clarifying, which is like, he needed something that was going to emotionally stabilize him. So her maturity works in his favor because he feels like he doesn't have to deal with kind of the same stunts or things that he would have to do to impress somebody that's younger, right? Chariot is about ambition and drive, but in relationship to love, it's a very lustful energy. So it's very much like she saw him, she wanted him. He was thrown off by how assertive she was. So he was like, well, all right. You know what I mean? It was like they kind of made connection and just went full steam ahead afterwards. Now the bottom row is where it gets interesting. We have the Knight of Cups, the Nine of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. So again, this is a very sexual energy. It's a very like, we don't really care what people think. We're just going to do what we want to do and we'll figure it out later, right? But the Knight of Wands is very much like the King of Wands. He's very much like his daddy. This is whole energy. So it's like a lot of sexual chemistry and a lot of flirtation, which kind of overtook her. This is under that King of Pentacles. So that's what he was attracted by, the money and the status. She was attracted by the confidence and the flirtation. So that's what made them come together. They like being around each other. They're grateful for one another. I get the impression that, yes, she was dating before him, but she wasn't. She shares, so she knows what happens when she goes out in public. It's like, they're different. I'm not going to take my other hoes out in public, but I like this one, right? So there's a lot of gratitude here, and he's grateful to have somebody that's pouring into him, right? But this is a business move. Again, even though there's a lot of sexual attraction here and they like each other's company, this was very much a business move, right? This was him putting his name out there because, and what I'm getting is, I'm looking at the candle, like Amber didn't do for him what he hoped.
Oh,
right? Oh, no, right? Amber didn't do for him what he hoped in terms of his reputation, his persona. So this is very much an investment in his future, an investment in keeping his name out there, right? And Cher too. She, even though she's rich, like there's still an attention hunger there. So both of them did this as an investment in something after the relationship. So short answer, again, it depends on your definition of real. Do they really have a legit attraction? Are they really being sexual with each other? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that there isn't also an ulterior motive to the relationship.
I ain't mad at it. Get your bag, King.
Get your bag, King. And also, shout out to you, Cher. No, because if you're a single woman in your 70s, you've been working since for 5 generations. You better go get you something young and cute. What's the point of accumulating?
And
I'm
let
not
me
mad
say this
at either
too.
person.
And let me say this too, like, I'm quite young compared to Cher. So like, I had no idea that girl, she was bad back in the day. Like, she still looks amazing, but when you go back and you look at the pictures of her, like, she was giving what it was supposed to
looks
give.
fantastic for her age, because I have to be reminded that she's in her 70s. So has kept her body up, has gotten good work done that's tasteful. But absolutely, Cher was the standard. Cher was gorgeous.
Girl, yeah. I didn't even know.
She's always been a baddie. I want to know how Amber feels. So I'm just going to get straight into the mess.
Oh my God, Soleil. I gotta beef up my questions. I gotta get to the T2.
I want to know, because I can't imagine how I would be feeling if my ex was with somebody double my age. I don't know. Like, I try not to judge people, but when it's your ex, it's different, right?
Yeah, and share it that though, like.
So let's see what Amber has to say about this.
So good. Drop them scale emojis, y'all, please. Soleil is showing out tonight.
Child, the Hollywood is showing out tonight, because this is just a juicy topic. Just when you think the news can't get any weirder, right? Okay. There was a part of her that was still hoping that things would work out with her ex. Like, they haven't been together for a minute, but there was very much a part of her that was holding on, like hoping that it would turn back around. So her seeing this has finally made her realize, like, okay, I gotta put the flag up. I gotta move forward, right? She's allowing this to be something that makes her better. I mentioned earlier that Amber didn't do for him what he'd hoped, right? And he's coming up as the emperor in this reading. Now, we know that the emperor is strategic, right? The emperor is about their dominion. She's coming up as the Queen of Swords, which is really interesting. because her energy is much lighter than the Queen of Swords, but she needs to be the Queen of Swords in this situation, right? I'm gonna pull a clarifier. Does anybody know her sun sign? What sign is she? Clarify the Queen of Swords. If anybody who is watching knows Amber Rose's sun sign, do me a favor and drop it in the comment section. Yeah, so this is about her laying things to rest so she can move forward, right? Because we know that the Queen of Swords goes through heartbreaks, and it's her responsibility to let them gain wisdom from them instead of becoming bitter, right? I think there was a part of her that was even though she knew and very much had signs that their union or their relationship was one of strategy for him, there was a part of her that was continuing to hold out, hoping that he would express some sort of love. And this Four of Swords clarifying the Queen of Swords is like saying that, like, no, girl, you got to let that rest, right? You got to actually let that rest and stand in the knowing of what actually took place. So her learning about this, let me rephrase that. She already knew that they were together. She already knew that they were messing around. But her finding out that it's gone public has made her finally come to terms with the fact, okay, that this is not like I can't be 1 foot in. There is no 1 foot in this situation, right?
Yeah.
In the bottom row, we have the Three of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and the Magician card. She's going to feel like she has to, I wouldn't be surprised if she pulled some sort of stunt or did something drastic in the next 3 months, because she's really like in this energy of trying to prove that she's a bad bitch. Like she's gonna do something to like kind of regain self-esteem, for lack of better words. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
She's a Libra, and she has a Libra sun.
Oh, okay. That makes sense why she's so hurt. It takes y'all a long time to get over stuff.
Look,
especially when it's especially when it's matters of the heart. It takes y'all a minute to get over it. But yeah, she's actually cooking up and in conversations with her team right now. So, and when I say her team, it could be her literal team, like publicists, but also like a friendly energy, because the Three of Pentacles is like, it's the people you collaborate with, but you have friendships based on those collaborations, right? So she's definitely in conversation with other people. And we have the Seven of Wands. So she's feeling competitive. She's like, okay, well, you out here with somebody, I got to be out here with somebody too, right? So she really wants to be competitive in this situation, right? And that's clarified by the Two of Pentacles. So she's juggling. She's actually considering who of the people that she's dating she's going to go public with, right? And then we end with the Magician card, which is, again, mastery over your environment. She's like, I don't like the way this feels, but I'm going to gain control of the narrative, and I'm going to find a way to make myself look like a bad bitch in this situation. So it's interesting. The way that what I gather from this spread is that the way that she feels about it, she's sad because she wanted to believe that she could get him back. And then also there was active denial about the fact that he, dated her for gain, and that he's not satisfied with the gain. But now that she's in the reality, she's finally settling into what the situation is. She's like, well, okay, well, I got to get back out there. I got to get my name out there. I got to remind people that I'm desirable. Like, that's pretty much what she wants to do right now, is to figure out a way to control the narrative so that it's focused back on her just being desirable and popping, So I want to ask one more question about this situation. I'm trying to figure out, what does this man do? No, I'm very, very serious, because I still don't understand what this young man does, like, for a living, other than, date famous women.
It's beyond me. I don't know.
It was alleged that he was like a music executive, but like doing what? Like, so I want to know, so 2-part question. I want to know what he does for a living and how he met Cher. Because we talked about their attraction, but I still don't understand how they met.
Yeah. That's a good question. I think we're all kind of wondering how they met.
Yeah, just what environment around each other in. So he is hurting for money. I don't care what nobody say. This is the second time. No, because this is the second time that not only a bunch of pentacle, well, it's only two in the 6 card spread, but not only have several pentacle cards come up, but they've come up sandwiched around the 9 of Wands, right? Which is about stress and being like at your end. Yes, being resilient enough to figure out a way out of it, but being tired of having to be resilient, right?
Yeah.
So this is really interesting. Clarify this 2 of Swords for me. What I am getting from what I'm seeing, though, what I am getting from what I'm seeing, though, is that how they met was actually through business. It was actually through music. I think that Cher was trying to start or become a part of some sort of project, and he was involved in it. It was a new field for him, something that he typically does not do, and honestly, a gig that he took because he was tight for money. And that's how they met. So even though he's in the same field as her, which is entertainment, but it's through taking on some sort of additional type of work that he doesn't typically do, working with a different caliber of clients than what he typically does, that he crossed paths with her. And it was literally out of a need for finances. In the first row, we have the 9 of Pentacles, which is Cher, the Hangman, 2 of Swords clarified by Strength, and the 7 of Pentacles. Now, this is independent wealth, luxury, and abundance. This is if I want it, I buy it, like the whole 7 Rings Ariana Grande song. I don't know why that song came in my head, but this is very much somebody who suffers for nothing financial. They have everything that they want and need. Hold on, I'm blocking this weird person. But yeah, they have everything that they want and need, and they can spoil the people around them because they have so much excess, right? So this is very much her energy. We have the Hangman, which is paradigm shifts, turning your world upside down. So these 2 cards together tell me that she was using her resources to reinvent her career. She was using her resources and her connections to engage in something new in terms of her career. So I think she's probably trying to do like some sort of another album or some sort of project, right? And that's where he came along. Now, he didn't even want to take this thing on in the beginning, right? He had a lot of indecision about it. He knew that it was far beyond what he typically does, but he did it because he needed money, right? The clarifiers of the Strength card and the 7 of Pentacles being, okay, I need to stand in my strength. I need to stand in my willpower. I need to be disciplined so that I can find a way to pull through this situation. 7 of Pentacles being like, okay, well, this is going to be an investment in my future, right? So they met based on business. Through that business, there was travel, right? And then in that travel, and them kind of being up under each other and not around a whole lot of other people, it strengthened the connection. 3 of Wands is a card of travel for me. It's long distance travel. So flights, pretty much, and them spending a lot of time around one another. Knight of Pentacles is budding business, but it's also saving and restriction. It's a card of minding your own business, keeping your porch clean. So a lot of the times that they were around each other in this travel, they spent extended periods not being around each other. They were kind of each other's only interaction, right? Then we end with that 9 of Wands, which I think it's interesting that this keeps coming up because it keeps talking about resilience and it keeps talking about being exhausted with having to reinvent oneself. So I do get that the way that they met was it was in collaboration for some sort of project. And both of them had deep investments in it. Her with the reignition of her career, and him, yes, with the reignition of his career, but trying to ignite a career that was more financially stable for his future. Yeah, that's really interesting. It makes sense. It's the only way that I could think of that they will cross paths.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I think I'm good on questions about them. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Until next time, it will be a lot shorter than 3 months. Can't say when you'll see me next, but you guys will see me soon. Thank you for joining. Please take care. And until next time, bye.
So fuel my fire, take me higher, I'll be your liar too. 'Cause when we're here